Okay, this video is going to be a breakdown of sun salutation B and just one variation of sun salutation B, but the basic concepts of it. And the alignment cues will be for a high lunge, but you don't have to use just a high lunge in your sun salutation B, and we've kind of talked about that, and we'll talk about it more too in person. But this is just the example of a typical sun salutation B. Sun salutation, I'm going to pretend like I've already done 3 sun salutation A's, or Sri Namaskara A. So we'll just begin this in chair pose. So from chair pose, you could come into a forward fold, or you can lengthen and come into a forward fold. So I'll just do that. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, hinge at the waist, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale the hands to the mat, feet travel back. Inhale at the top. Exhale, lower with control, chaturanga. Inhaling, head and chest up to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, send the hips high, downward facing dog, 1 full breath. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, bring the right foot forward. We're going to plant it on the ground in between the hands. Inhale, rise up to high lunge. Exhale, the hands find the floor. The right foot travels back. Inhale at the top. Exhale, lower with control. Inhale to back bend. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, bring the left foot forward. Inhale, rising tall, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come to the floor. Left foot back to meet the right. Inhale at the top. Exhale, lower with control. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, hips up and back to your piked position. 3 breaths. Inhale the gaze forward, feet travel to the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise tall, and exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips, chair pose. So in chair pose, you can start from your forward fold, bend the knees, and then swipe the arms up, or you can come from that upright position, sink the knees, and sit down in. That's up to you, and I always think of it as being personal preference. In our Ashtanga practice, it does usually come from the ground up, but it just depends on what you prefer to do. All right, so now for the alignment cues in our sun salutation B. In chair pose, the feet can be hip distance apart or in a more narrow stance. If they take their knees apart, their feet are apart, their knees also need to be apart. What you'll often find is this. So knees apart, feet apart. The knees are still tracking towards the toes. It can be as low as they want to go. You'll find some people that come down really low. There are some who barely sit in it. And either one is fine. In your chair pose, you want to make sure that you can see your toes just beyond your knees. And caution them about their lower back. So some people will try to bring their arms up and their chest forward, but that arches the lower back. So try to keep the lower back flat. That means arms alongside the ears. Wherever the ears are, the gaze is kind of just coming forward in a natural, neutral position. Some people ask me, do you have to tuck the tailbone or not? Tucking the tailbone is such a vague term. What do you want them to do when you say tuck tailbone? Is it tilt the pelvis forward? Or, well, you're tilting the head of the pelvis back, I should say. But it doesn't, wherever it feels best for their lower back. If they're going to tuck their tailbone in, it might round their spine. So just try to find a neutral position from the crown of the head, neutral back position to the tailbone. Some people will like to keep their big toe mounts together and heels apart. Really, it's up to them. It doesn't matter. Thumbs can be at the center of the chest. Wherever you want it to be is okay. Inhaling in the chair pose, like I said, you can either come up or just forward fold, so we'll go ahead and do that. I don't need to walk you through this. This is all part of your sun salutation B, so I'm just going to start from our downward facing dog. So you can, I always say lift your right leg or raise your right leg high. So there are variations. You can keep the leg so that the toes and shin and hip bone are still pointed towards the floor. and it won't come up very high because once you start to open your hip, lift your leg too high, it rolls your hip open. So you could cue it that they still stay squared to the mat. It doesn't matter. Or if you want to take it a little bit higher, it's really, I would say yogi's choice. So they're going to inhale to kick that leg up. Exhale, bring it forward, plant it on the ground in between the hands. In this case, since our right leg is coming forward first, that right foot is closer to that right thumb. Now, if you don't have access to blocks and their chest hits their leg, their hands can always be on the inside of their foot. It's okay. You want to make sure the right knee is over the right ankle, that we're engaging the quadriceps. So one of the cues I use is to squeeze an invisible block between your thighs. It really does start to strengthen up those thigh muscles so that you can come up to this rather safely. Please make sure you see if their foot is over their ankle. This is okay. If it's drawn back a little bit, this is coming into dangerous territory. So knee over ankle or drawn back a little bit. So think 90 degrees. Pressing into the ball of the left foot. Core is strong. Inhale, coming up. Pelvic floor is lifted. Our legs are still engaged in that block squeezing action. The left, in this case, the left hamstring, left calf are pressed towards the sky. Back is in a neutral position. So it looks like my back is arched, but I'm pretty neutral here for me. Arching would be to press the chest forward, which is an option, but for just a standard old high lunge. More or less stacked vertebrae over vertebrae. Hips are squared towards the front of the mat, so is the chest. Shoulders are relaxed, arms are just reaching towards the sky. They can stack their heel over their toes, or they can press their heel back. Whatever feels best. The exhale, the hands will find the floor, take their foot back, you flow through, and then you repeat all that on the opposite side. Remember, a sun salutation B is chair, right side, up and back, left side, up and back, come back up to your chair. We usually do that sun salutation in sets of 3, just like our sun A. And we will hit more on some of the alignment cues as I keep making videos. So that's just your sun B reference for whenever you need it.